Well, hello YouTube. Welcome back to the Bison Aquarium. And today we're going to go over some reviews and maybe show off my tank a little bit. I did a water change yesterday, and my ammonia test kit that I got acted like it was inaccurate. It kept showing green on the ammonia, and I tested everything. I tested the nitrate, pH, high range pH, and the ammonia. Tested all of them. And it says to leave it in the vial, the little vial on it, for a minute. Well, if you leave it in there for a minute, it shows incorrect every single time. So I went to PetSmart, took this kit, and took a sample of my water and had them test it. Well, the whole point of buying this was so I didn't have to keep going to PetSmart and getting the free water test. It's just a waste of gas when you got a truck that gets 8 miles to the gallon. So, yeah, I got a truck that gets 8 miles to the gallon, believe it or not. Big old 460 in it, dually, geared low, 4-wheel drive. It's badass though, but it's very expensive. But anyway, it kept showing that it was at 0.50. Well, 0.50 and beyond is at alarm rate. You need to be watching. So I went ahead and I took 4 or 5 gallon buckets of water out of it, which brought it down to, hey buddy, brought it down to about right here, which is 20 gallons of water out of a 55 gallon. And then I put tap water back in it, which is all I've got. I'm not set up to put water that's already been acclimated back into the tank. I need to collect more jugs. I used to have 20 gallon jugs, and I would leave water 20 gallons worth laying around so that when I took 20 gallons out, I had water that had been setting for over 24 hours for the chlorine to come out of it to put back into my tank. Well, anyway, PetSmart showed that my water was perfect. Well, then she tested it with this one, and it showed perfect using my kit. So I don't know what went wrong. In fact, it's been in there, that water's fact, it's been in there all this time, and it's still showing good. And it's been sitting in there since yesterday. I forgot to clean it out. I need to do that. Anyway, that's not the focus of this video. The focus of this video is the air pump. I just bought an air pump from CLL Pet Store. I think is what it's called. And I'll put a link to, or I'll put the name of it down here below the video so that you guys can see who I bought it from, so you guys know not to buy from them too. It seems like everything I get from them is just trash. Well, the post clearly shows, and I'll put a picture of that right here. Now, it reads 475 gallon tank. I've only got a 55. So anything for a 75 ought to work very easily in a 55. So I get it, and I'm going to hook it up. If I can do this pretty simple like for you guys, I'll show it to you to start with. Let me get you all up here and get you guys in focus. Yep, you already are. Alright, this is the pump that I got. And that thing's a little warm right now. And as soon as I opened it, as soon as I got my eyes on it, I knew that this was junk. And I'm usually, just by looking at something, I can usually tell if something's junk or not, because I know how things work. I know what makes things work. I know how big something needs to be for whatever the job it needs. So I'm pretty good at being able to look at something and tell you if it's going to work or not. But I have to go through the motions and show you guys. I got this gang valve. Now this I got from somebody different, I believe. And it's a 4-way gang valve. And yes, it's a little cheap. It's plastic. It didn't cost very much. But all this stuff is just temporary anyway, apparently. I didn't want it to be temporary, but seems like that's the way it's working out. I'm not having very good luck with these tanks, or this tank right now, because everything I get is no good. And now I'm just going to put one of these up that has, let's see here, let's just go with number 1. Alright, that one goes under this rock here on the right hand side, and then this goes to the pump. So we're going to plug that up. And then we're going to turn this on. Now I want you guys to watch up there at the top as I turn this on. Well, it's not even powerful enough to push the water. It's not even powerful enough to even get below the water surface, let alone run 2 of them. So this is a fail. So I guess I'm going to have to go to PetSmart and just spend more money than I wanted to for a pump, and I can't get one now because I didn't have enough money in my check to take care of my bills. So I'm going to have to go without air bubbles in my tank for another month. I cannot stand people who give false advertisement. I'm sorry. You know, right's right, wrong's wrong, and they are clearly wrong. You test this stuff out before you send it out to your customers. If it doesn't work, don't sell it to them just so you can make $1 and hope that they won't complain about it. Throw it in the trash and be done with it, and then go buy another one. I'm not rich enough for that. I don't have the money to go wasting on stuff that doesn't work. And the post clearly shows that it is 4 75-gallon tanks. Well, 75-gallon tanks are a little bit taller, so the water's a little bit deeper. So if it's supposed to be for a 75-gallon tank, then it should work for a 55-gallon tank. Plain and simple. You know, the water's not as deep, and it's not even running 1. Alright, so let's take this off, and let's hook it directly to the pump. Now, you can barely see up there at the very top. You can see the air about 1.5 inches below the water surface, and it can't even move any further than that. The air bubble stops right past the heater, if you guys can see that. So it doesn't even have enough power to blow an inch below, 2 inches below the water. So I'm going to have the devil of a time getting these people to give me my money back and to satisfy me. So let's go ahead and put my hoses back where they are, because it looks like they're going to be sitting there for a while. And unplug this. Junk. I'll give you a closer look at it. I mean, look how little that is. I don't even believe this would work for a 2-gallon tank. May not even work in a 1-gallon tank, because they can't get below an inch or 2 inches of the water surface. It's not going to get below the water surface in a 2-gallon tank either. So this is the let me just get my magnifying glass. This is a AP200, 3 watts, made in China. It's not even a name brand. There's no name brand on it whatsoever. Just got a picture of a fish. It looks like somebody printed this out on their printer. Super silent air pump. High quality. Woohoo! High quality. It can't even get 2 inches down below the water surface. So this is a bust. So guys, basically this pump is trash, and I'm gonna probably have a devil of a time getting them to refund me my money. If they do, I'm still back to square one. All they've done was wasted a week of my time. And it's getting ridiculous. You know, I've just started this channel, and because I keep getting all this bad equipment, I have to keep giving bad reviews. I don't want to give bad reviews, guys. Come on. I want to be able to say, man, I love it, and you guys are awesome. I want to be able to do that, but I can't do that because these companies are lying on their sales ads. You know, clearly it shows right on the post 4 75-gallon tanks. Well, common sense tells you that if it'll work for a 75-gallon tank, it's going to work perfect. In fact, it's going to be overpowered more for the 55-gallon than it is for the 75-gallon. You know, I've got a 55-gallon, and if this is for a 75-gallon, then it should have blowed air in there with no problem, no effort. But as soon as I opened it, I knew this was junk. It looked bigger than that in the picture. They must have really got close to this thing to make it look bigger than it really is, because that thing's tiny. I mean, this thing's almost as small as my camera. And the GoPro Hero 2 is a piece of junk too. It's outdated, and yeah, it's got good quality video, but you gotta have wires hooked on you, and you can't just freely move your camera around if you want. If you do, you gotta move the whole tripod. So that's what I'm working with, guys. So you just have to bear with me. I'll do the best I can with the videos, and I'm hoping that one day I can bring you guys a video that's positive, because that's what I want to do, is bring positive feedback to the people that I buy from. I want to bring happiness to the people that are viewing my videos. So they're making it really hard for me right now to get my tank set up and to get views and to turn people towards my channel. So they're not only hurting me with the tank, they're hurting me with my channel, because everything seems to be negative. So bear with me, guys. We're going to positive this up a little bit. We're going to find a way to make this positive. I want this tank to be working great. And, alright, you need to leave him alone. My Oscar's been bullying the tables have turned, by the way. The goldfish are going to have to go out of there. I got a woman at PetSmart who's going to take both of them for her grandma or her mom, one of the two. I think it was her grandma. And the reason being is the tables have turned. Jake is bullying both the goldfish. It used to be the goldfish were bullying him and chasing him around the tank. Now he's starting to chase the goldfish around, and he's even stalking them to chase him around. So he's going the extra mile to mess with them. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of the goldfish, which I knew was going to happen anyway. I'm going to miss the gravel cleaning that they do, but I don't want to see him die either. So once he gets bigger, he will kill him. So as little as he is, he's already bullying people around, and I mean, that's his nature. That's what he's supposed to do, and you know, that's what an Oscar does. They're bullies. Plain and simple. I thought about keeping one of them, and I may still yet just take one of them, this one here, and keep the one that's got just gold and white. I like his face, how it looks. It kind of looks like a raccoon. Call him Coon. But we're going to try to do some adjustments here and get rid of one of the goldfish. See there, he just went around there behind him, snuck up behind him and nipped at him. And I've actually seen him start from here and go dark clear up into the corner and try to nip at one of them that was up there. You better behave yourself. And I noticed he was chasing my Pleco around, and that ain't going to fly, because my Pleco is just as important as Jake. Well, I'm sorry, Charlie. Charlie is just as important as Jake. So I got to get used to those names. So anyway, I hope this, guys, helps you to not make the same mistake that I did. This pump is a AP-200, and it's crap. Do not buy this pump. It doesn't even have enough power to go 2 inches down below the water surface. So don't make the same mistake I did. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and maybe you got some pointers. If you got some extra equipment laying around that you willing to do some trading with, or just feel generous, help me out, guys, because I'm not getting anywhere with these companies. So you guys have a good one. Later.